Offline. Sending data. There we go. All right. Just unmute the stream here. Should be good to go. Sorry, I had the horizontal stream. I actually switched to a vertical stream just for tonight. As we go through, we'll go through a few things. I'm going to share a lot of stuff going as we go through. All right. So we're going to look at overall today is the S&P 500. It's going to be the first thing we're going to look at. As you know, with the S&P 500, as we look at this, we've seen some pretty bullish stuff going on, but we're going to change that here. And I'm actually turning the chat on to you. We'll go to just one chart at a time as we go through this. Let people join. All right. So first one we're going to search for is going to be the ES, our ES S&P mini futures, and we are going to go to our weekly. All right. So we're at our ES weekly on the mini futures, making sure this is over here too. NVIDIA, yeah, dude, we've been investing in NVIDIA since it was $200. We called it before the stock split, during the stock split, but we called it, before we go through this today, I'll show you. Wait, that's the benefit of my trading group. People think my trading group is expensive, but motherfucker, we called this, well, it's split, but before the split, we called it way back here. We called it way back here before that split. A lot of people made a lot of money in the trading group with that. Anyway, so back to today though, what we're looking at as we go through, and I gotta fix this mic. It's like catching my picking up, if I just breathe, it's picking up. It's making it sound like I need a CPAP machine. As we look at this though today, we are looking at a breakout this week above 5,500, or we did last week, sorry. And as long as we stay above 5,500 this week, moving forward, we should be okay. And then we'll continue to rally. We're seeing a lot of earnings this week. We could go up to 5,900 this week, but we're going to see 5,650, which we just passed, then 5,700, 5,750, 5,800, 5,850, and 5,900. So we're probably going to see a bullish week just based on the earnings going on this week. All right, just based on the earnings going on this week, going to be pretty bullish. All right. All right. Volatility index is probably going to be low too. So we'll check out the VIX. As you guys know, if you worked with me in any capacity or done any free challenges, we check out the VIX. It's going to be probably lower. As we know, as the stock market goes up, volatility index goes down, right? If 12 cannot hold, then we're going to go down to 10 and 9. Probably going to see that with the rally. If we see a dip or a reversal, this will probably go up to $16 to $18. All right. We'll look through a few things for our weekly as we go through, and I'll go through the chat and look at a few other things as we go on as well. All right. So I appreciate you guys joining. Appreciate you guys asking questions. So we're going to Tesla next. With Tesla, we saw this rally. We actually, our weekly watch list called this too. So if we go back to this week here, our weekly watch list actually called this. If you're in the trading group, you know that we said if we break 200, get some calls, continue the rally up. As we continue here, we're looking at this. We need to see this accepted over 266 this week to continue. If we're not about 266, then we're going to go down to the downside. We do have support at 234 and 227. Very much a long-term chart. But with this recent bullish momentum, probably see a pullback, or this could break all up to 300 and then pull back. Right? So we just got to be aware of that. Yeah, so with Tesla, great that we called it a 160 share wise. We actually called it a 160 share wise. That's the benefit of the trading group is you get this information earlier. Then we have AMD. We also are having a combo package of business coaching, DVDpreneur, and trading that we'll be announcing relatively soon. But with AMD, nice pumps last week. Our key level for longs is above 186 as we continue to move towards 190 and 192. And we have support to the downside, but we need to go over 186 for this to continue. Otherwise, going back to 179 and then back to the downside. All right. And I was supposed to do this a bit earlier today, but there was actually a monsoon outside the house. So if you were like, hey, why didn't you do this at the time you said you were going to do it? Because there was a monsoon outside and all you heard was hail hitting the house. Amazon. I do think this is at least $200 stock. We have Prime Day this week. We have other things going on with this. If we fall below 193, going back to the downside. Otherwise, if we go above 200, then going up to 205. Pretty bullish long term. All right. And just looking at this, there's a few other stocks in here I'm going to save for my private coaching group for tomorrow. I'll take some requests, any crypto requests, other questions you have, but I'm just going to look at earnings this week really quick as we go through. And so yeah, as we go through, did this freeze? Yeah, sorry, I froze for a second. That being said, with earnings this week, we have a lot of earnings this week. We have Netflix, we have American Express, we have Discover, we have United, Bank of America, Interactive Brokers. We also have a lot of stuff going on calendar-wise. And that's one of these things where, in general, because of that, we have to be a bit more careful. Also, tomorrow, Jerome Powell speaks at noon. And then we have some other stuff going on later in the afternoon, jobless claims, etc. I'll be out of the country Wednesday through next Thursday. But this is one of these things where when we look at these charts, we pay attention, we go through and we check this stuff out, right? So, but I would say I'm pretty bullish on this. Netflix, I'm not really a fan of the earnings. Other earnings going on, just not a fan. We have things that go through. So there's a video that we send to a lot of people. We have signals that go through. So we have daily signals that come through. We have different AI bots that come through. We have weekly calls, and I have a different screen I'm looking at right now. But you actually get a report every Sunday. You get a report, and it shows you broad market and commodity analysis. Actually, it shows you how to utilize the weekly watch list. It shows you accessibility and extra market notes. You get broad market and commodity analysis. Then you get technical analysis for stocks. You get earnings and economic calendar, previous close inside day. And then we have 3 trading calls Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday every morning. And so you get a lot of stuff. And then you also get some hand holding and special signals by me. Again, it's not financial advice, but we just give you educated guesses, right? Again, the trading is for educational purposes. It was not created by financial advisors or licensed professionals. It should be used in combination with your own due diligence and extensive research. But that's one of these things where, in general, so yeah, we do have that. Yeah, we teach a lot too. We have some courses that go through the beginning, some recordings. We did the trading challenge. We actually did 2. We did one last year and one this year. And people got really good deals that signed up for the trading challenge this year. We're doing another challenge actually may include trading in about 2 weeks or so. It's one of these things though where the people that have been with me 2 years or so didn't miss out on NVIDIA, didn't miss out on even the meme stock stuff, didn't miss out on a lot of things. Even recently, we got a few 1,000% returns. It's one of these things where there's always opportunities in marketing. We also cover dip and rip stocks. We cover crypto. We cover a lot of different things. I would say though, bullish wise, right now, Amazon's probably a $200 stock at least. I'd watch this week, especially with Prime Day going on Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you want to buy $200 calls that expire Friday this week, you'll probably make some money. We'll check out some crypto though. Another one that my trading group guys made a lot of money. You can ask Zach, who's been my trading group for a while. On my market cap. I don't want to be a market cap for this. For Chainlink, right? So Chainlink last cycle went up to $40. We've been saying buy Chainlink since $5-6 here, popped all the way up to 20 so dollars. A lot of people made 400%, got out. Now we're going back in. This is long term, going to make a lot of people millionaires if they are buying this. This is cheap. We also have other things we look at, like meme stocks, like Daddy Token. Yeah. So like with this year, with Solana, things there. We also go on pumped off on buy things. But in general, we're just looking at the overall Bitcoin chart right now. See what's going on. Someone requested Bitcoin on one of these channels, these chats. Holding Rocky. Nice. So right now, what happened here, well, we got a Mt. Gox dump, and then we also have Germany kind of dumping the market recently. Again, we actually called Bitcoin back here at 15, 16K. And this is one of these things where actually by trading puts and options last year, I was able to get my account pretty up significantly from like $400 to $40,000. Was able to buy some Bitcoins here. Some of my trading clients did as well. Continue to grow up. And now, if you bought here, you're up significantly and able to, get down payment on a house, whatever you want. But long-term Bitcoin, we're still not below the Ichimoku cloud. We're still going to see some momentum in Q4. Granted, there's no pandemic that comes to steal the election that Putin was talking about. So there's some things going on here. Be attention to, but most crypto is going to run Q4. But just looking at this here, we're still okay crypto wise. But again, we've been calling crypto since back here. We called the crash. A lot of people didn't listen to me. We were able to ride this up. Now I continue to go through. And again, if this is confusing, that's fine. A lot of the things we do is give you reports just to read it. It's one of these things like with Tesla, we call a lot of things. All right. I think ETH is overvalued personally. So when I got back into crypto, actually I knew about crypto since 2015. I'm just a fucking idiot for not buying 30K worth back here. I almost bought like 30K worth back here. Or for ETH, look at ETH, so make more sense. So yeah, like I almost put 30K in ETH back here. That'd be like $66 million. So I wish I would have done that. I didn't, because I listened to the wrong people and being the fucking idiot. But that being said, with ETH, I bought a lot of ETH here. I rode it up here, kind of sold. Actually, I didn't sell here. It dropped back down. I sold. I got out of it. Bought a lot of NFTs and other stupid shit. I think long term is good. I think it's too expensive. I do think Bitcoin's a store of value. It's too slow. ETH is fast, but the gas fees are too high. I'm still more bullish on Chainlink. And with my trading group, we have an altcoin portfolio. And so with this, just in general, like it's okay. You'll probably make money. If you have at least 10 ETH, you'll probably be a millionaire within 10 years when the money's worth nothing. If you want to get rich quicker, I'd look at altcoins more like Chainlink, get a better ROI for your buck. I just don't think it's as user friendly as people make it out to be. As someone that uses the Bitcoin network, uses the ETH network, and understands how Chainlink's going to be an oracle to talk to everything, I'm just not an ETH fanboy. Yeah. Yeah. So that's my thoughts on ETH. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'll be okay. Hold it long term, you're fine. I think it's easy to buy compared to other stuff. I like last cycle I turned $500 into 30K before like Shiba was popular, all this other stuff. There's lots of opportunities in the market, even with stocks, we dip and rip stocks. But in general, I think you're better off just buying Chainlink every week and then looking at other alts in general. Yeah, I mean, there's people that are ETH. Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? If you've been buying ETH, since back here, and you've made millions, or you bought ETH back here, and you made millions, right? That's like obviously you're going to be bullish on it. But I just think long term, does he actually use the Ethereum network, right? Is he sending money via ETH and paying those gas fees? Now they are cheaper than they used to be. Bitcoin's way too slow. It's still better than banks. They're both still better than banks, so I will give that. But you want to be diversified. I do think, though, in general, if you want to make money, it's more of a safe crypto investment. If all you're buying is ETH and Bitcoin, it's a safe crypto investment. I think Chainlink's even safer, but that's just my opinion. But if you were trying to get rich, no. 20K, yeah. I mean that's fine. 20K on a hard wallet, that's decent, right? 20K on a hard wallet's decent, But if I don't know when he bought the 20K, maybe he bought the 20K up here at the top and now he's just fucked, right? And he's got to wait a few years. Maybe he bought it back here, right? So it's one of these things where maybe he's buying weekly. Again, the best thing you can do is actually just buy some of this weekly. Just pick whatever you want, buy it weekly. But in general, I'm just saying ETH has more problems than people realize. And even though myself, I'm bullish on ETH, I have NFTs on ETH, I have other things on ETH, I just don't think it's the best long-term for getting rich now. I think it was good for getting rich back here and back here. But for actually making money where you'd be like, yo, I'm going to quit my fucking job, start my business, do whatever the fuck I want, I think that boat's already sailed, right? And buying it here, you could get way more tokens in Chainlink right now for the price of this and actually probably get a higher ROI. All right, that's my thoughts on that. Yeah. And again, I don't know when he bought it, as I said. If he bought it here, congratulations. If he bought it up here, right, that's it. Or he's just an ETH maximalist. There's people like that. I own a variety of cryptos, and it's one of these things where we just know Q4 this year is going to be plan out as long as there's no second pandemic. Putin was saying in a press conference that there may be a second pandemic to stop the election now that Trump survived the assassination attempt. So we will see what happens. And I actually trust Russia more than the U.S. government right now. So, yeah. So, again, like I said, with these markets, any cycles, a lot of this stuff doesn't matter as much. But I was just looking at Bitcoin in general because, crypto market's good to check out. We're probably in this phase right here of this market. We'll see this probably go to 100K later this year, but we'll see a bit of a dumping if Germany continues to sell, and then also when the Mt. Gox up and whales moving around, plus with crypto futures, things just get moved around. Yeah. So we'll just see what happens in general long term. Now, that being said, the SPY, like I said, SPY's been up significantly. Let's talk about the ES. The SPY is the ETF of the ES that I was going over. We're at 559. Honestly, this is going to sound insane, but this could run to $600 this week, and then it's probably going to crash later. I personally, right now, would buy SPY puts for January 1st next year, like 550 SPY puts for January 1st next year or less. You can probably make a lot of money with that because this is not sustainable. This whole thing where, Biden's economy, this is just bullshit. There's been some rally, since the debate and going up, but this is just not sustainable. Last time we saw this, if we go back, was this 2008? Yeah. So we saw something similar like this at a lower scale where we went from $79, all the way up to 170 back in 2007, and we crashed hard. And we're kind of seeing a similar thing here. Now we would have crashed here. We kind of did a little bit, but then there was government bailouts, bank bailouts. Would have crashed here, government bailouts, bank bailouts. Now again, I'm not trying to be contrarian to the market, but just looking at this, there's no reason for this to be spiking right now. Now, this earnings July, I think this is kind of manipulated to keep the current sitting president in office because they'd be like, oh, you can vote for me because I kept the market at all-time highs, which we've seen parties do before. Or if Trump wins, that's going to be good for the economy and this will rocket again. But I think there's going to be something coming, or the election time or a bit later, where this is going to crash hard and we're going to see this again. So I would advise you guys to sit on the sidelines a little bit. Not financial advice, just my personal opinion. Is that, when this happens, you can make money whether the market goes up or down. It's probably going to be expensive to buy an option that far out, but if you got some SPY puts for $500 and we crash, from COVID, we're at COVID, or not COVID, let me go to COVID's over here. So COVID, we went from, what did we go? From 200 all the way up to 340, and then we crashed all the way down to 229. So, 340 to 229. And we really haven't seen that big as 474. The 352 here, and we're seeing these corrections come in forth here. So if you just look at this here, we're kind of seeing up, corrected, which is healthy. But just looking at this and just looking at this here, I'd actually feel pretty confident with actually even the 470 put, which is probably only a penny for a January or so next year or to the election, because I think we're going to rally this week though, so it's probably going to go down, but long term be okay. Yeah. Just really looking in the chat here. Give me 1 second. Appreciate the YouTube views and the Facebook views. We're not streaming on Kick today. We are streaming on Twitch, though, which I didn't change the title on. So I didn't turn the Twitch feed off, actually. So we're streaming on, right now, YouTube. And then we're streaming on Facebook and IG. I'm turning, actually, the streams that have lower views off. Make sure that I can get in the most engaged chat here. All right? Yeah. But, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. All right, any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll shut this off. And I hope you guys enjoy your day. Get in my restream. Give me 1 second, go on my restream. dashboard restream.